simply than never.
74, here's Stuart Machin for the call.
They approach the tape steadily and away first time. Starter Sophie Upton sends them on their way for the Grade 2 Boodles Rising Stars Novices chase, and the nose bandit Soul Icon begins sharply and leads by a couple of lengths approaching the first, and takes it smoothly and quickly as well, with Glyn chasing the early pace, and then a break of a further 3 lengths or so early on to Insurrection. Blue and yellow on the sleeves for Harry Cobden. Boombawn down at the running rail and handstands out wide, and they clear the first of the open ditches, with Glyn taking on Soul Icon in the front running roll. The early fences coming up fairly swiftly across on the far side, and Glyn and Soul Icon are trading punches, with the other 3 in no great haste. Insurrection back in third from Boombawn, and then handstands over another ditch at the end of the back straight, and each of the 5 jumping pretty well there. Soul Icon then and Glyn will lead them into the turn, with Insurrection stalking the pace. Boombawn down at the running rail just ahead of handstands. They move inside the last 2 miles and head on towards the cross fence, the 5th of the 17 they're scheduled to encounter on the way round. All pretty good there, and into the next bend. Glyn, one off the rail, alongside Soul Icon on straightening, and then Insurrection. Boombawn under a waiting ride from Harry Skelton, and the chasing debutant handstands just last of the 5. Ben Jones patient aboard the Ben Pauling train gelding, as Soul Icon slightly extended his lead there over Glyn, moving up towards the middle one up the straight first time. Soul Icon by a couple of lengths to Glyn. Insurrection, Boombawn and handstands. Leader really attacked that one, jumped it well, gained a length or 2 over some of his pursuers. Last one up the straight before another circuit. Soul Icon put himself right on that occasion. Glyn just running down it a little in second. Harry Cobden sitting quietly in third aboard Insurrection under the judge, and then Boombawn and handstands. Approaching halfway then in the Boodles Rising Stars, and the pace has been relatively even from the outset. It's been around 30 miles an hour from the moment the flag was dropped, and they're moving on to the now waterless jump. Soul Icon over Glyn. Insurrection hopping over neatly enough in third, stalked by Boombawn, and lastly handstands, who's yet to be played, across the far side, and on now to the 10th. Soul Icon. And the run of things so far, Glyn was upsides him in the early part of the race, but he's been striding on with gusto in front, and he has a lead now of 3 lengths. Soul Icon over Glyn. Insurrection wide, getting a good view of the fence. His handstands is wider still, and Harry Skelton asked up Boombawn there, who's just a little bit long. Scattered the birch towards the penultimate one and across in the back straight, fence 12. Soul Icon. Glyn drifting back to the others. Insurrection wasn't as quick as either Boombawn or handstands there, and now they move towards the last of the open ditches. 5 out. Soul Icon long, reaching for it. Insurrection a little better, just about jumped into second there. Glyn is finding this hard work. He's losing his position. Boombawn is making quite smooth progress up the inner, and now puts his head into second ahead of Insurrection. Cobden just crouching a little lower on Insurrection, and handstands is still ridden cold out wide, heading on down the hill towards the cross fence. 4 out in the Rising Stars. Soul Icon big and bold there, out a lead of a couple of lengths to Boombawn, who will claim the rail into the turn. Cobden is more animated in third at Insurrection, trying to get him to hang on in there, and now Ben Jones is asking handstands, the maroon cap, to try and close, as Soul Icon gallops on in front, and he's got all the others on the stretch in behind. Skelton is now shaking up Boombawn. Soul Icon over the third last, long, 3 lengths clear. Handstands a tumbling fall, hampered Insurrection, who almost came to a standstill. Glyn was very badly hampered as well. Meanwhile, Soul Icon is clear, coming towards the second last. Can he keep rolling? Spring heel there, 3 lengths ahead. Boombawn is chasing hard. They're well clear of Insurrection. On down towards the final fence of the Rising Star. Soul Icon. Boombawn beginning to close. Soul Icon by only a length. Boombawn out to the left, but he's now gathering a head of steam, coming over the the top. Skelton is full bore, and Boombawn is beginning to get up and lifts the Rising Stars from the gallant Soul Icon. They were miles clear of Insurrection. Glyn completed back in fourth. Handstands is up on his feet, so too Ben Jones.
A brilliant finish to the Boodles Rising Star Novices Chase, and Boombawn wears down Soul Icon under a great ride from Harry Skelton. There is Ben Jones and Handstands up and seemingly okay after coming to grief in the home straight. Looked in trouble at the time. Dave, Boombawn has got up, was just behind Insurrection at Chepstow last time out. But for a long time up the home straight, it looked as if Soul Icon had his and everyone else's measure.
Going to hang on, but it's a long, punishing, might be a sharp track, Wincanton, but it's a long, punishing home straight for steeplechasers. It's not the biggest surprise to me, but 5 seconds on the spin, nothing wrong with his attitude at all. But Harry Skelton, he got his head down there, didn't he? And he really drove Boombawn.